Damn it.
Oh, right. Shit, I got the wrong sleeve. There we go. Look at the drip. Coming to you soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna post a picture later.
Oh, you trying to flex?
It's for the thumbnail, bro.
That's the standard Diamond and Rafe Templeton flex. That's what he be doing, like his little pre-fight posts.
That's it. That's all.
Except he ain't got no shirt on.
Yeah, no shirt. I go like that.
Yeah, you got the abdominal muscles trying to flex the diamond cut abs.
It's just a tease. Yo, diamond cut abs. Actually, diamond cut abs coming soon. It'll be $19.99. I know I'm a little late, but it'll be on DVD. That's how I can get my, I can start
Blu-ray.
making profit. Yeah, Blu-ray and DVD. That's how I make my profit. I could put it online, but I don't make anything off of that. So diamond cut abs coming soon, $19.99.
Plus shipping and handling.
Plus shipping
it's
and
a
handling.
DVD.
It's gonna be me on the cover and my abs popping, edited. It's gonna look nice. So be on the lookout for that. Diamond cut abs. But yeah, welcome back everybody. Thank you for being here. Again, we appreciate the support. We appreciate all the love and comments and stuff like that. It really helps. And yeah, we're just gonna continue to keep going, continue to keep growing, bringing you guys more what's the word I'm trying to say?
Products.
More products, stuff like that. More content. That's mainly the word I was looking
keyword.
for. Yeah.
But products as well, because we got some stuff in the works. As you see, slowly but surely, you start creeping out more things. I keep grabbing the wrong sleeve. I don't know if y'all can see that, but
goodness gracious,
we're gonna start dropping some more products as well. So be on the lookout for that. Slowly but surely, as you guys see the episodes and the content, you'll see it start to leak, and then soon it'll be available for y'all to snatch up too. Yeah. So stay in tune for those details. Yeah,
stay tuned. Make sure you follow Beyond the Rounds Instagram. Also, we're gonna have stuff coming up there. We're gonna be posting a lot more content. And you're going to see, a lot more insight into us training for the next fights coming up. We got June 8th.
What's the calendar? Yeah.
Is the next time, one of us will be on the card fighting. We have fights before that. We got guys fighting in April, May, stuff like that. So we are busy getting everybody trained and ready. But the next time you'll see one of us inside the cage is going to be June 8th. So keep your eyes and ears open for that.
And then slowly but surely, we're going to start creeping the debut of the team. Yeah. So you ain't got to just see us, as handsome and as appealing as we are, what I mean? Give the gab and all that stuff. You get to see more members of the team as we continue to push the episodes forward. So I'm excited about that because I want you guys to meet members of the team. Yeah. You guys get to see them when we are doing cards and training and all that. But just to get to see some of the people that we have with us on the day-to-day to sharpen our skills and get to know them as part of the Beyond the Rounds team and Team VFC. So, boom, coming soon.
Coming soon. So, today, we got a little treat for you. We are going to be watching Marqus Sneaky-B Blevins' last fight. I still haven't seen it. I haven't seen the whole thing yet. I saw little clips here and there, and it was just like, yo, I think we won. I think we beat this dude up. But we're going to watch it right here in its entirety. I'm going to put it up on the screen, probably over there, something like that. I'm just going to block Marqus out the whole time.
Yeah, it is like...
But I will put it up on the screen with you. You can watch along with us. We got it from the pay-per-view. Honestly, I forgot to write down the name of the pay-per-view that we got it from. I apologize, but... thank you guys for having it up there for us to still share.
We'll put in the link later.
We'll put it in the link later where you can find it. Right now, it's not available anywhere, but you can go back to the pay-per-view and purchase it if you want to see the entire show in its entirety. You can see all of our guys fight. We had John Mello, Colin Steiner, Marcus Blevins, Jake Clark. I think that was it, right? Four of us?
Yes, 4 of us.
4 of us. So you'll get to see everybody on the card, plus everybody that VFS had on the card. It was a great show. It is a long clip. It's about 8 hours long. We had to scrub all the way through to watch this, but you're going to watch along with us. So without further ado, here we go, man. We're starting right here at your walkout.
Oh, disclaimer on this, too. This is the first time I'm seeing this. I haven't watched it at all. So
I was going to ask you, too. I forgot.
Real-time reactions on all this.
Look at John Boy.
Yeah, I don't know who he's pointing at.
Right, he's pointing up, too.
I think, like, this moment right here is, like, it's like seems like it's taking a while. So I'm just trying to like groove and stay in the moment. I'm walking out. I like to stare at people when I'm walking out. So right now I think I'm looking at a few people that were in the crowd.
Yeah, I'm bouncing up and down. I'm getting the rhythm. I'm liking the song. I like to stay as relaxed as possible. So I feel like if I look scared, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That dude, his corner is scared. That doesn't look good.
And I think this was like a T.I. I was walking out the T.I. So I was grooving, you know what I mean? They got my little record out there, want to know. This right here,
6'2", bro.
Yeah.
He's 5'9" at least, bro.
Man, come on, I'm like 5'6" point.
They helped you out on that, man. 6'2".
This one, like, I actually feel cool. I felt like I was a little bigger on this one on purpose. Like, I didn't have the same type of like frame as I did for the first fight, but I was intentionally trying to be a little heavier. I ate a little more on this one just because I felt like the weight was going to be significant for what the fight was going to look like.
Especially after the last fight.
Yeah.
His last opponent, like, you could tell he gained some weight.
Oh, yeah. The old boy was big. I felt every bit of that. You know, when he was trying to press up on me, I felt every bit of it. And I already know what the game is. Like, cats are going to come in and they're going to want to grapple with me. Oh. And that's been evident in these last two fights, which we're going to see live right now in this one. So I was like, you know, let me put on a little bit of size so I make it a little bit more difficult for them to try to grapple and exchange. Right here, actually, they yelled at me because I was going to the cage. I didn't get to show my team love, so old boy was yelling at me to get in the cage. I ignored them, gave my people props, hugs.
Yeah, they were like, go. What are you doing?
Get in there, yeah.
Hey, man, I didn't get to hug Marcus.
No, man, I'm about to fire off my first right hand before I get in the fight. No key.
Right here, you got the ref talking to you. They're pretty much just saying, it's hard to remember what the hell the ref's saying, but they pretty much come up to you before the fight and say, hey, listen to my instructions. That's pretty much it. They're just saying, have a good time, have good luck, blah, 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 wait for my instructions, listen to what I'm saying, stuff like that. Potentially, sometimes they'll say, like, oh, don't go below the belt or something like that, but usually they're just like, hey, have a good time, have a good fight, and I'm going to be your ref for the most part.
And so what happens too, before the fight takes place, they have a fighters meeting with the refs. So that happens before the show even starts. And so they'll come hours before. So they'll bring in all the fighters from the blue corner and the red corner, and they'll explain the rules to you. They'll explain to you what they expect from you during the fight, and they'll tell you what they're looking for. Like, if you're in this situation, we need to see this situation, we need to see that. So everything.
Give me a thumbs up if blah, 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 you're in a bad spot, let me know. Look at the lights helping you out in this, bro.
Ooh,
you got some cut.
I did not feel like I looked like that.
Look at your shoulders, they're cut as hell.
I didn't feel like I looked like that in the fight. Like, I was looking at myself like, I look kind of soft, but hey, man, I like this lighting.
Yeah,
Shout
the
out
lighting's good. They got the lights coming down.
Shout out whoever got the lighting in the shade right.
Hey, look at your shoulder, bro.
Yeah,
I look. Your tricep.
So my tricep, man, I look like a problem.
And you look calm too. Everything looks calm.
So this first round, you guys can't see it in this angle. Is what I'm seeing now. Is I actually put my fist out to ask him if he wanted to touch gloves. He's looking back at me, shouting no. So that's why we didn't touch gloves. I typically.
Yeah, usually we'll touch gloves.
Touch gloves to start the fight.
Yeah, throwing some feints in there. You look quick on your feet. He looks like he's doing the same thing, feinting, hopping in and out.
So all this stuff that you guys are seeing, I know a lot of people look like, what are they doing? This is a fill out period. Yeah. It's kind of you're checking for timing. You're checking to see reactions. Like, I'm going to feint.
Yeah, your distance.
And feint is like equivalent to fake. So I'm going to show you that I want to do something, whether it's maybe throw a strike or a kick or
those kicks are coming out quick.
Just to see what their reaction is so you can get a read for it. Ooh. And that read lets you know, like, okay, this is what he is likely to do if I show him this. So now I can respond. So this is what's going on right now. It actually was like the first minute. Man, he got that little shot.
It's kind of timing those leg kicks.
He sure did. I don't like that. I don't like that.
He went for it, man. He went for it.
He sure did. So this Ramirez was a grappler, as you can see. Right now we're on the ground. Yep. He's a grappler, jiu-jitsu guy out of Team Halo, so that's their bread and butter. I can tell you right now, we're fresh and I'm fairly dry. So his pressure
means he's not sweating.
Yeah,
not
I'm
slippery.
dry. Like there's not a lot of sweat because we haven't worked enough yet to sweat. So there's not a lot of slippery. We're not slippery at all. So it makes it a little bit tougher to evade certain positions. But his jiu-jitsu and his positioning was pretty sharp.
Yeah, he's keeping his hips down pretty well.
So right here,
he's going for a dart. He went for a dart.
He went for a dart. He went to try for a dart.
He switched to a guillotine. It looks like now. Yeah.
So he was doing a lot of attacking to the person who's not as experienced.
He's climbing his legs up, probably for a triangle. Yeah, he looks like he's going for a triangle. You're doing good stacking.
Yeah, so for the person who's not generally familiar with grappling, he's doing a lot of smart stuff.
Yeah, he's trying to
put me in positions to where he can have me uncomfortable and try to finish me. So I end up getting back to the feet, and we're about almost halfway through the round.
That's good. Oh,
he did
for another sweep.
Yeah, outside leg trick.
I was waiting for you to probably grab those knees that he was throwing up.
Yeah.
And then reverse it, take him to the ground. But right in the same position, he's in half guard, which means Marcus's one leg is between both of his legs. Marcus is on his side, bringing his knee through his belly, trying to scoot his ass out and to his hips. And now the guy's in side control. He's not doing a whole lot. There's not a whole lot of damage. Marcus turned over.
So I actually give him my back to get to a position where I can get to my feet.
Trying to get your knees under you.
To build a house. So a lot of this, if you don't understand grappling, which most people, that's where a lot of people have
it's
deficiencies to understand MMA grappling.
So on the feet, you can just see one guy's punching.
One guy's punching and damaging, the other guy's like, But a lot of people, why don't you just get up? I hear that that was the number one criticism I had in this fight. And I know I'm throwing a lot as we're talking, a lot of what you're watching, trying to stay up with everything play by play. But his top pressure, him keeping his hip tight to me, making sure that I can't get up.
Not a whole lot of space.
Yeah, is what the issue is. And he's doing a great job of that because he has a high pedigree when it comes to
grappling.
His grappling control.
Boom, boom, boom. I like how you threw right away. Coming out of that break. We're back on our feet now. We've got a minute left. Marcus is marching them down. Nice little kick inside. It's not a normal kick that he throws. Sometimes you do shit in a fight that you're not even He was throwing that leg kick, his right leg, but Marcus never throws his left leg.
Yeah,
usually in training, he's never throwing it really. Looked like he checked one maybe.
And what really is just a matter of fight IQ and trying to identify what you have in real time in the fight. So sometimes you train for certain things, but then when you actually get into the fight, you recognize that
it's going a totally different direction. It's going a different
way, but I have these things available.
Yeah.
So you take what you can get.
There we go. We end up on top here. I feel like the difference here is Marcus ends up on top. He's throwing elbows right now. He's throwing short little elbows to the face. With the elbows, you're kind of hitting with, the end of your elbow. Sometimes you end up hitting with the forearm. But ultimately, you're trying to hurt the person. You're trying to cut. You're trying to use this elbow as a blade. But I feel like, they probably gave him that round for top control. He's on top most of the round. Even though we ended up finishing the round on top, Marcus is throwing elbows and stuff. I feel like there was more damage done by Marcus on the feet. The guy got touched. On the ground, even in that 30 seconds of Marcus being on top, he's throwing elbows and stuff. But they kind of weigh the whole thing. The round is 5 minutes long. So, most of the time the guy's on top. Right now we're putting ice on the chest, putting ice on the back of the neck and stuff, giving him giving him direction of where he should go, how he's looking in the fight, and that's it. When you're in the corner, you're pretty much just watching your guy. You're watching the other person. You're seeing if they're making little reads, if they're shooting for certain things, and if there's opportunities for us to land certain things too. So I think in the corner I was just like, hey man, get up. Why just stand up? You know what I mean?
My honest assessment in the fight, in real time, because I can't see everything Diamond see. Obviously, I'm in the fight, but I felt like he got me with enough takedowns, enough top pressure. If I was the judge, I could see them giving him that round. So I actually walked away from that round going to the corner thinking, I probably dropped that round. By a close margin, but I probably dropped it. So coming into the second round, I knew I had to put together a lot more work on the feet to put damage on him. My intention was to damage him a lot.
You were sitting a lot lower now. You're sitting lower, you got your shoulders up, you're digging in those kicks now. Right now you're feinting the kicks, turning your hips and stuff. He already doesn't like that. He already doesn't like that kick. That shit hurt.
So what you'll see in this round, I didn't know that happened that early.
Yeah, me either.
I thought that happened later. So
dropped it with the right hook. Right now he's pushing the head down.
What you'll see in this round is where I started putting a lot of stock in the leg kick.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I knew that I dropped them in the second round. I didn't know that it happened like
a minute
the
in.
first like 30 seconds
first
in.
Minute.
But I felt like there was a significant difference with the striking, so I knew I need to put my best effort in trying to damage his body.
He's trying. He's throwing that right hand, trying to keep you away and stuff. There's a lot of pressure you're putting on him, though. He already doesn't like that leg kick. Oh, man, he's making faces. Oh, you slipped.
Yeah, I slipped.
Oh, I forgot that happened.
Yeah, I forgot that happened. So that slip was like so horrible because I was putting a lot of damage on him. I could feel the tone start to shift.
Oh, man.
And somebody threw a banana in the damn cage because I slipped on it. I swear, if we rewind this shit, you'll see a banana peel in the cage. His corner threw a banana peel when I kicked and I slipped on it because I don't even know what the hell I slipped on. It wasn't wet that I know of.
It looked like you were stepping on the logo in the center of the ring.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little bit slicker, but.
And he dove on me.
Yeah.
And I think had that not happened, we might have different maybe outcome. At least at least in this moment.
Yeah,
for sure.
due to leg kicks, because that guy, he was walking away, limping, hurting, making faces.
This is what I'll say about the leg kicks. Leg kicks don't look like a whole lot, but when you're able to put the damage on those legs, they are significant. They hurt. They hurt. They add up. And
he's jumping on a guillotine right now.
It's a cumulative damage. Right here, you guys me in the guillotine.
He's squeezing tight. He's going for it.
He's squeezing.
Yeah, he's going for it.
I remember there's maybe a couple submissions he had me in.
Where we're right in front of the corner right here.
And he's putting a lot of pressure. He ended up letting it go. I got my head out. I'm trying to stay in good position.
And if you're fighting and you're on top, sorry to cut you off. If you're fighting and you're close to your corner, it's way easier. Right? You can hear your guys. You got their voice in your head, but now you're a lot closer. You're a lot closer to the action, so you can listen to your corner and just do certain things. Look for certain things that they're telling you.
At this point, I step away and I tell the ref to let
I'm saying 232. Boom. Oy. Caught us with the right hand on a leg kick. A lot of these, if you're falling back from a leg kick and you get hit, you're already on one leg. So your balance is kind of off a little bit. So if you get pushed or touched a little bit, it looks a lot worse than it is. But right now it put him in a better position.
This is funny. So the guy calling the fight is named Jason Von Flew.
Yes.
I end up getting my arm trapped, and the guy that Ramirez actually was trying to put a Von Flew choke on me.
Yeah, right. He's going for it here.
I felt like that was disrespectful. I didn't like that. He was trying to Von Flew choke me while getting commentated by Jason Von Flew. That was very disrespectful. I was able to get out of it though.
Yeah. So right here, I'm yelling certain things, but if you see me in the corner, I'm not going crazy yet. There's a lot of stuff you can do, but mainly what I'm looking at is like, hey, we're not getting beat up. You're not taking any damage. Yeah, this guy's on top, but we're not getting hurt. So that allows us to focus, right? I'm not getting beat up. Yeah, this is a bad spot. If anytime somebody's sitting on your stomach and they're throwing punches down, it's a bad spot. But from the looks of it, Mark's landing right hands from the bottom. Not normally a great tactic, but they're landing and his opponent isn't landing. So in a spot like this, you're kind of just doing whatever you can to get out of it. You know, if you smack the guy hard enough, maybe he'll jump for something else. So right now he's going for like a triangle choke, arm triangle.
And the thing is that right now he's in a full mount. So he's able to kind of control position because he's in a full mount position. So I'm moving, trying to get space, but he's doing a good job of not allowing me that space.
Yeah, he's keeping his hips down. If you can see, he's staying really tight to the body. In jiu-jitsu, grappling, MMA, if you're really close to the body, it allows you to control him more. If there's a lot more space, then there's an opportunity for your opponent to escape or get out or something like that. I think Marqus was like, damn, right now when he showed up to the corner. But we know, that's kind of how it is. You're going for it. And got some signal problems here with the fight. And we're back.
So right here, I'll be real. In real time, I thought that I had dropped round 1, won round 2. In my mind, in the sequence of time, I thought that when I dropped them, it was later in the round.
Yeah, it seemed later.
The thing of it is that had it been later in the round, it probably would have been more significant, and I probably would have favored me for the way that round was judged.
Yeah.
And then breaking down how rounds are judged and how fights are scored, we'll probably do that a little later, just because the fight's active right now.
We got John Boy in the corner with us.
I thought that I had won round 2, and I had dropped round 1, so I'm going into round 3 thinking, okay, it's whoever's going to get round 3.
Kind of tied right now.
That was my thought process. So I just explained that to kind of like
to spell out
the strategy. So the strategy in round 3 was me thinking like, I got to go in here. I got to make sure that I have a very definitive round 3 and able to sway the judges if I can't finish the fight.
Throwing a lot more aggression right now. That right hand was coming hot.
The intention for me was always the finishing. Like just the finishing. I felt like I put enough damage on his leg.
Ooh, that was good fake. Fake to the lead hook. That was clean. Boom, leg kick.
I was really trying to put a lot of damage on that leg because I seen sequences. You guys can't see it in real time, but I'm staring the dude right in his face during the fight. And I seen the way he would grimace and did not like those leg kicks. Yeah. I also heard his corner telling him to stay away from those leg kicks.
Boom, 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 right hand. Right here, I knew you were going for it. Just like boom, boom. A lot of hooks. Boom. Yeah, the dude was tough.
Yeah, he was tough. You see that grimace on the leg kick.
That leg kick. And that wasn't a hard one, so he's already hurting.
So that's what I was seeing. So I knew. I was like, I just got to keep this pressure.
Nice right hand.
I got to keep this pressure. His body language is telling me a story.
Yeah, he's walking away. He does not like that leg kick. He needs to switch stances. He never switched stances. Boom. Boom. I like when they get in these sequences where it's just like, oh, fuck. And they kind of throw. He dove for that one. Shuck him off. See, right here's like a bad spot for him.
This is where I kind of, this is what I didn't remember. I remember there was a point where I let him walk
I don't remember this either.
I thought this was in the second round, actually.
Tell him to stand up.
I thought this was in the second round.
God, so do I. So did I.
So I wanted him on his feet because I knew that his leg was hurting, and I knew that I felt like I had more opportunities laying in on him with my hands. Just the way he was kind of like really light on his lead leg.
Right now, trying to keep you away. You feel that right here? No.
See, I have a nasal issue that I got to take care of medically, so I walk around with my mouth wide open. So I breathe through my mouth.
Oh shit, man!
So it looks like I'm extremely labored, but I actually feel pretty good cardio-wise.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't look bad. You don't look like you're dying. You don't look like you're tired. You're still pressing forward. Boom, boom. The speed's not going away from your punches either, so it looks good.
At some point, let's see.
Oh, nice uppercut.
Yeah, that was the uppercut. I know he felt that one.
So those leg kicks, they're not even coming hard anymore. Yeah. You're just throwing them because they're open, yeah.
And if you see how he's kind of moving on that lead leg, you can see where the damage is at. The damage is accumulated. That was damn it! It hurts to watch it again.
Damn it, bro.
Why, bro? Rewind it. Maybe I'll block this shit.
Maybe
rewind it, man. I'll block it this next time.
Right now, he's back to mount. See what Marqus was saying about hurting the guy early in the round. These rounds are 5 minutes long, and these judges they're supposed to judge accordingly, right? So if you hurt somebody in the beginning of the round or something like that, like it sticks in their head. But as the round goes on, if something like this happens, you know, if the guy ends up on top or the other person ends up on top or in a dominant position, that kind of sticks with them more. Like towards the end of the round, sticks with them more. So Marcus doing a great job for 4 minutes, and then now the last minute we're kind of stuck on the ground. I think we still ended up getting this round.
Yeah, we on the scorecards. I actually got to see the scorecards well after the fight was over, because I thought I lost round 1 and round 3. Actually, now looking at the fight,
It looks like we took round 3, honestly.
So
I feel like we won round 3.
Yeah, we did. And so on the judges' scorecard, we won round 3. Spoiler alert, because the round's not over.
Yeah.
But you calculate fatigue and all these other things.
He's going for the guillotine right now. I think at this moment we're right in front of my corner, and I'm yelling, "You're fine. Put your forearm in his face. Do this." He's just holding on. And I think there's a moment, from my recollection, he looks over at me because I'm yelling stuff. He starts saying stuff to me. I'm saying he's just holding on or something.
Let's see if that actually happens. Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look. See,
yeah,
I give him a thumbs up. He says something. I'm not going to repeat it, but he said something. And I'm like, yeah, you're good, buddy. Keep holding on. You're good, buddy. He's smiling at me. He gets up. He gives Marcus a hug. He's smiling. So, I mean, it was funny, but...
So the respect and everything, that mutual respect and like, hey, the daps, that didn't happen until the fight was over.
Yeah.
Like at the beginning of the fight, was really no, I don't want to touch gloves. Ain't no love. We're going to handle our business. I don't care. To me, it's not personal. Like, I have every intention to beat you.
Yeah, regardless.
Yeah, to beat,
whether you're cool or not.
Yeah, to beat the brakes off you and win this fight. But we can be cool, we can not be cool. But some people, you know, it's different headspaces, different approaches to the fight. He chose not to touch gloves, which I didn't take it personal. But it didn't change anything to where I was like, I'm still going to try to hurt you or not anyways.
Right.
But at the end, I think just because it was
competitive. It was a good battle, yeah.
It was a good competitive. He went, you know, touched the glove. The fight was over, so there's no reason to have any other feelings.
There's no more animosity.
So I'm going walking around, I'm doing my little salutes.
You know, let them know. Marcus dancing, acting a fool. Like I said before, you know, our team's just, this is what we love to do. You know, Marcus isn't walking around with his head down or anything like that. They're shaking hands right now. Right now, they're just tallying up the scorecards. They're looking at the judges' scorecards. This person gave them that. This person gave this. And that's why it takes a minute or so after the fight. They don't just say, yeah, this person won. They're making sure they're going to read it correctly and stuff like that. I'm looking fly as hell, though, dude. That hat, man.
Yeah, that hat is pretty fly.
Yeah.
I don't even like this whole sequence. Like, this is the first time I'm watching this, so I didn't really hear even right now the commentary because we're talking and stuff.
Yeah.
But it seemed like it was a pretty enjoyable fight.
Yeah.
They just announced the fight, so it was 29-28. So that means they end up giving him round 1 and round 2.
Oh.
And they gave me round 3. So I unanimously won round 3, meaning all 3 judges think I won round 3. And then the judges all unanimously thought that he won rounds 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So that's how that fight ends up being
I think they called it unanimous, but we've seen the scorecard after. It's like split decision, right? Isn't that what that
No.
Oh, it's just unanimous? Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 2 to 1. Okay.
So I do that's my typical wave to everybody. I trip right there a little bit. They try to catch me. I was cool. I was going to fall. You know what I mean?
That's funny, man. But yeah, shout out to the dude. He was a tough guy. He stayed in there. Joseph Ramirez, yeah. Halo Jiu-Jitsu. He did a good job. They had a good game plan. I mean, like I said, Marcus kind of came out of this fight feeling all right. I mean, he felt good. Nothing was hurting. Wasn't beat up. The other guy, he took a lot of shots. Took a lot of damage to that leg. It's a pretty good fight, man. I thought you did fine. There's little moments where it's like, ah, shit, we got taken down, you know.
And this was the thing, like,
and it's not like we don't work jiu-jitsu. There's a big difference between people like doing a whole lot of jiu-jitsu. That pressure becomes weird. You get this weird jiu-jitsu strength, and you realize like how much weight you can actually force to the ground. We got guys here that are 140 pounds, but if they get into side control, you're like,
they can apply that pressure.
Yeah, it's like they're like magnetized to the ground. You're like, how are you this heavy? It's crazy.
And this is the thing of it too. It's
Stopping at 7:33, 57.
the at the pro level, you're gonna have footage out there. Like there's
Yes.
at the amateur level, you haven't been fighting. You're relatively new. There's nothing to look up to for other gyms to study what you do and don't do. And honestly, as an amateur, you don't even know what you do and don't do.
Yeah.
You're still learning. Like I like to do this. Like you just figuring it out. By the time you become a pro, there's enough footage of you in the cage
For people
fighting,
to look at.
yeah, fighting a certain way, having certain tendencies, whatever. And what they do is they watch you and they game plan. So without a doubt, like the opponents that you receive, the strategies that they put together to compete against you, they're all tailored to them believing that they can put together the best tactics to beat you.
Yes.
So it's not any like secret that guys are going to come out that feel like I'll grapple against this guy because if I can take him to the ground, I can neutralize a good bulk of what he likes to do.
Right.
Now he has a high pedigree when it comes to jiu-jitsu and wrestling. I can say that from being in the cage with him, and then I found out after the fact.
Yeah.
But he was doing a lot of attacks with trying to submit me. Me being aware of that, I was able to fight it off. That's why he wasn't able to submit me or get a finish. But much respect to him.
Oh, sorry. Keep going.
My
camera shut off, but I believe we're still recording here. You can keep talking. Yeah.
So much respect to him for going out there and putting together a strategy to help him be as successful as possible when it came down to the judges' scorecards. Now the judges are, they value what they see.
Yeah.
They make an opinion on what they think carry the most value, and then they score those rounds according to what their opinion is based on the work that they saw. Now, when it comes to fights, I would say it's probably accurate that the last impression is the lasting impression. It's the most important.
Yeah.
So if you have the most significant work at the last 30 seconds of the fight, is probably going to be more significant than the work that happens in the first minute of the fight.
Yeah.
Because
I think it's people's brain, man.
Yeah.
The judge is a human.
Yeah.
But it's the people's brain. You kind of like remember the last thing you just saw.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, shit.
It's the lasting impression. Because if you flip that, like even like I'm going to say the second round
Mm-hmm.
to where the takedown.
Yeah, I didn't know you dropped him in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, this is like 30 seconds. So if you flip that to where I get taken down in the first 30 seconds, but then the last 30 seconds, he ends up getting dropped.
Yeah.
That's going to significantly change, how that's interpreted.
That round is scored,
with the score. Yeah. So that's just something to like be aware of as like as far as what me coming in. It's not going to change that. I'm going to try to knock your head off. But I also understand how the scoring works. So with all that being said, I don't take nothing away from him. He was a tough dude. Yeah. I mean, he took a lot of damage. I know, especially with that leg kicks, and he made those adjustments, and he fought through a lot of adversity in order to be able to get that decision win. So I ain't mad at it, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm here in the gym. I'm feeling cool. I felt cool initially after. I mean, you always have that little bit of time to where, man, I was in a fight. Yeah. So I need a little bit.
I feel like even if your fight is quick, I've had fights last, minute, 2 minutes where I don't even think I got touched. I think I got kicked one time, but I ended up on top, and it was like 69 seconds. I ended up choking some guy out. But even after the fight, like once your adrenaline wears off and stuff, it the next day you're like, oh, what the hell? You're kind of sore, like for no reason. I remember my hip hurting. I was like, what the hell? I remember like crying about my nose. Like when I went for the choke, it's like head hit me in the nose. But it's like in the fight, you don't really feel anything. You're kind of just doing your thing and nothing really hurts. But afterwards, you're like, oh shit, I was in a fight yesterday. It's crazy. Yeah. So even if it's going quick, you hurt. So I can only imagine. I haven't gone a full 15 minutes yet. I haven't gone a full 3 minutes yet. I kind of live or die in the first round. We're gonna start changing that. But I haven't had to go through that yet. But I mean, you were fine. You were back at the gym Monday. It's not like you were going crazy working out or anything, but you were here. You were walking.
Yeah, because you tender. I was tender. Yeah. Like I felt cool after the fight. My first fight, actually, I was way more beat up. I think it's just because of the kicks I was throwing, how I was throwing them. My legs were just beat. up. Felt like somebody like was hitting both of my legs with baseball bats. I couldn't even explain it. Like, man, why am I so sore? Like, because it just is what it is, the cumulative damage. But with that, I felt good in this fight, but I realized that it's about 2-3 weeks for me to get a recovery. Now, granted, those first two fights, it went the distance, so that's 15 minutes in a fight. So the longer that you're in the fight, the more likely that you're going to sustain some level of damage. So
whether it's hurting you kicking that person or
because you will hurt yourself trying to hurt the other person, and that's what tends to happen. More often than not, for me, anyways. And then so it's about 3 weeks for me to like, okay, I feel like I felt before I fought.
Feeling good.
Feeling like good because I was sore and my foot was kind of swollen, my right foot. I had a little.
And that's from you doing that.
Kicking
somebody. Him. Kicking him. You still like people watch the fights and you're like, damn, you're killing that guy. Like you're also kind of beating your leg and your foot up at the same time. If there's a certain part of the leg and you kick it, you're like, ooh, yeah, I got that. And then they move their foot, they turn their knee a centimeter and you kick their knee and you're like, oh, yeah, that's not where I was aiming. That was not what was supposed to happen.
And then when they intentionally check a kick, and then we had a little short where I was like, it was like a little jokey joke. I was like, I feel cool until somebody checks my kick. That was on the last episode.
I had like a real heartfelt moment about, loving fighting and stuff and loving what I do. Marcus comes in, until you check one of my kicks, then
I don't feel that way.
Yeah, they were having a bad day.
And checking the kicks for people that don't understand it is the person that's going to be kicked. They anticipate about to be kicked, and they take their shin and they turn it towards the kick. So
you'll see them pick it up sometimes.
They'll pick their foot up and turn their shin out towards the kick. And what happens is the person kicking, they come in with all that momentum and force, and their shin hits the other person's shin. And it causes like significant damage to the person who's kicking.
I mean, it still hurts.
It hurts. It hurts the person who's checking the kick,
but it hurts the person kicking a little
bit more. So, like, it's the type of pain that makes you reconsider doing what you're doing.
That's like, why don't you just keep kicking over and over? They're gonna start seeing it. They're either gonna check or they're gonna do what this guy did and like shoot for a takedown. So it's like, little things out there like. There's like this poker face, right? You don't let people see that you're hurt. Usually, no diss or anything, but he was wearing it on his face. He was showing like, oh, that hurt. Oh, he was grimacing and stuff. After a while, for us, we do our best to just. That's not even a face anymore. Like you look exactly the same, whether you're hurt, whether something rocked you, whether you kicked and they checked, whether you did something. And that's just kind of something you have to do in a fight is not letting the opponent know, not letting anybody know, not letting the judges know anything. If I get hit and the judges see that I was like, oh,
grimace.
You grimace. Like it looks bad. And then it's like, ooh, you know what I mean?
If your opponent catches now, even if they don't see it, the corner seeing it.
Yeah.
That's their job. So they're going to be like, hey, man.
Yeah, he doesn't like that. Yeah.
Blood in the water. And your opponent becomes a shark. And they just go in and attack and attack and attack and attack. Granted, he had the takedown threat, so I was like, I seen it. I was like, okay, I know the takedown's coming, and I can hear his corner calling for the takedown. They were like, when he throws that kick, you fucking shoot. Like that's, I want to say that's a quote. I heard them telling him, so even though they're yelling at him,
you can hear that.
I can hear it too. Like it sneaks in. So I was like, if I heard it, I know damn well he heard it. So, and I don't want to be taken down because I'm about to, finish this guy on the feet.
Right.
So being cautious and being methodical about when you're going to deliver those strikes and not put yourself vulnerable to be in a disadvantage during the fight.
Position,
yeah. So it's all these factors, and everybody, sitting on the couch or in the chairs, at the fight, they can see it in real time and critique things, but in real time is you're going boom, 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 boom live, and you're acting, reacting. And that's what makes it a game because you're there live.
Yes.
Dealing with every consequence of the decisions you're making and you're paying for it in blood. Literally.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it exciting. But that's what also makes it like, okay, I got to try to employ the best strategy possible in order to be successful and to be able to inflict as much damage on my opponent to get them to quit or to sway the judges into giving me the decision.
Giving you the points.
There's a thing like I said earlier that the refs go in the back and they do the fighters meeting.
Yeah, fighters meeting.
Well, Jason Von Flew, who was the commentator for the fight, he ended up chiming in because he's a UFC veteran.
Yeah,
very respectable.
Very respectable. He was in the UFC. He had a few fights there. He did a great job. We actually had him out here not too long ago for a seminar. Yeah, he was teaching that same damn
same Von choke that guy tried to get on me.
That choke's actually named after him.
He was he made it famous. He was the first one.
First one to do it.
And he created and made it famous. So it's called the Von Flew choke. And actually, I ain't gonna lie, it was kind of tight when he had it. And I was like, motherfucker, I just did this seminar for the Von Flew choke.
Learned the seminar.
So I was like, I don't care what you try to get on me, but you definitely ain't getting this Von Flew choke. But anyhow,
I mean, he mainly he taught us how to do it. There was no oh, this is how you get out of it either. He didn't teach us how to get out of it.
It's impossible to get out.
He said, it's impossible. You do this show, nobody can get out of it. But Marcus got out of it. It was pretty clean. But yeah, he showed up in the seminar, or not the seminar. He showed up.
The fighters meeting.
Yeah, at the fighters meeting. And he pretty much said, just go for it pretty much, right?
Yeah, so his input on the fighters meetings, because he talked after all the refs gave all the spiel. And so he said, hey, I just want to get into you guys' ear. You know, he gave his credentials, ex-UFC fighter, veteran, etc. And he basically said, and this is excerpt from what Dana White has said at some point that he had heard. He said, Dana White said, hey, don't leave it in the judges' hands. You want to go out there, you finish the fight. Go out there, finish the fight. Don't leave it in their hands. Yeah. And that's the last thing he left us with.
Yeah, that was it. Don't leave it in the judges' hands. Mm-hmm. He used some more colorful words.
Yeah, colorful words. He threw some F-bombs in there and all that stuff.
We're not going to repeat him, but
that's the paraphrasing, right? And so taking that, absolutely, absolutely, if you have the opportunity, I agree with it. If you have the opportunity to finish the fight, absolutely finish the fight. Because then there is no question. If you're able to knock somebody out, if you're able to submit them via choke, whatever the case may be, some type of submission technique,
do enough damage to where the ref has to step in. It's a TKO
or the doctor.
Yeah.
So finish the fight, absolutely. And that's always my intent. I want to finish the fight. I don't want to necessarily leave it into the hands of the judges. When my amateur career, I had all finishes. Yeah. And then coming into the pros, you realize, okay, this is another level. And then, like I said, we got guys implementing certain game plans to be as successful as they can in certain strategies.
There's a lot more tweaking that goes on into your game plan and stuff. Like we said before, amateur fights are 3 2-minute rounds. And that's kind of like a whirlwind. I mean, we got guys that fight amateur and stuff, and we prep and we get ready for stuff. But in that short amount of time, there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of energy expended. They're actually going hard because they only have a short amount of time. These guys are kind of going crazy and stuff. But at the pro level, you can't just go wild like that because then your energy's zapped for the rest of the fight. There's a lot more cardio that goes into it. There's a lot more strategy, timing. There's a lot of stuff that takes place, and
you leave yourself vulnerable to a lot of holes to where they can capitalize and end you. So with all that being said, absolutely. If I actually had intentions to keep my finishing streak alive. I wanted to transition from my amateur career into my pro career, and then I got into my first fight, and that ain't happened. I got the decision win, which was great. I got my little win bonus. I got my purse, and everything was great, but I didn't get the finish. I was going for it. I got close a few times, and it just didn't manifest itself. So coming into this fight, I had a few opportunities to finish with the damage I was putting on. I ended up going to the judges' scorecards. So what I'll say with that is absolutely try to go for the finish. But the reason that we have judges is that sometimes you have individuals get into that cage and you have two bulls clashing, it doesn't necessarily always manifest in somebody be able to just take out the other.
Right.
Especially with the strategy and the skills and the fight IQ.
It's mainly the skill level. Like, there's certain things you can do at the amateur level that don't transition as well to the professional level. And it might be, you can throw the exact same technique in amateur and it looks perfect, but when you transition to the pro level, some of these guys have seen that before. They've been there long enough. They've been in the cage more. You know, they have a lot more experience. They also went through the amateur circuit to be a professional. So they're already adapted to certain things too. So it's like there's a lot more game plan and stuff. And there's a lot more, not necessarily game plan, because we don't game plan too much. There's certain things that we work on. But it's never like, oh, you have to do this in the fight and you have to do this to win. We just work on a lot of situations and scenarios.
Yeah, situational training.
Not going into too much of how we prep for our fights and stuff, but there's a lot of in time, real time in there, in the moment, transitions that have to be made, decisions that have to be made. You're here in your corner, but you're also the one in the fight. If I say right hand, but the guy's looking for the right hand, he's waiting for you to throw it. There's a lot that goes into it there. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of in time making those decisions. And then, like, depending on how your body feels, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm beating him up with leg kicks, but my leg feels like it's gonna break or something. That could play a part too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So there's a lot of intangibles, and like even the greatest fighters ever, they have situations to where they've just met that, that force that they just couldn't put down, and they had to strategize to like I have to win enough rounds to end up
winning the fight,
winning the decision from the judges. Like one of the fights that I think about, and not comparing my fight to this, but one of the fights I think about just because of the fighter is John Jones versus Gustafsson 1.
Okay, yeah.
That fight was that was probably the closest that John Jones ever came to losing a fight, and it ended up becoming both individuals were trying to finish each other, but they just couldn't put each other away, so they started to strategize into the championship rounds 4 and 5, to be able to put together the most decisive rounds to sway the judges into giving them those rounds.
For the judges to make those calls,
And so you have that from time to time, and that's why there's judges, because sometimes you're not going to be able to put that individual away. Yeah. You can put together the best argument for your performance that, hey, I won over rounds 1, 2,
right.
3, and if you're talking about championships, now it's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and those 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
5-minute rounds.
And those strategies change based on all kinds of different factors: how much damage is you sustained, how many rounds that you may or may not have won. Because this is the thing too, if you're not aware of how the scoring happens, fighters don't know what rounds they won until the end of the fight.
Yep.
So it's not like after each round that
you have a definitive answer of who won.
They don't come and tell you that the judges gave you that round or not. So it's on a 10-point system. And explaining that really quick, one fighter the fighter who wins the round gets 10 points.
10 points.
The fighter who lost the round can get 9 points or less, usually 9 or 8. So 9 is it was a good back and forth, but I feel like this fighter who got 10 did more.
Yeah, overall.
Overall.
Whoever won, even if it was like a boring fight, nothing really happened, but this person did more to sway the judges, they get that 10 point, and the opponent gets that 9 point.
Or less, or 8 if they were dominated. This person almost got
finished,
taken out.
Yeah.
So it can be a 10-8. So then over the course of how many rounds that fight is, they just tally those points. So that's how that works. So each round is scored 10-9 or 10-8, 10-9.
10-point must system.
Yeah. And so with that, strategies change. Like if I know I'm in a 3-round fight and I dropped 2 rounds, so
you kind of have to go for it.
Yeah, I have to go for it because there's no way for me to win. Even if I win this last round, I can't win with the judges because they already gave this guy 20 points. So there's no way I can beat them with the way the scores will tally, unless I get a 10-8, which means I got to beat the brakes off this guy.
Yeah.
So anyhow, with all that being said, things change, strategies change, you got to make those adjustments. So when you're in fights like that, you may have to like, I'm either gonna go for broke and get my head knocked off trying to knock this guy out, or I'm gonna assess.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna assess the tone of this fight, and I'm gonna fight in a manner to where I'm going to be able to solidify these rounds to win the decision.
Right.
No, whichever strategy you go about utilizing based on what you plan to do going into the fight, or how you had to adjust according to how the fight is going in real time. Neither one is bad. It just really comes down to the skill set that you're bringing into the fight, the adversity that you're dealing with, damage that you sustain as a fighter, the strategy that they're trying to implement on you, and the adjustments you're making in real time. All those things play a factor. So you might strategize to go to decision.
Yeah.
Depending
on how stuff's going for you in the fight.
So it's not as sexy, you know what I mean? It's not as sexy, you know. And Dana White, you know, with that saying, because I've heard that saying before too. Yeah. Watched him live say it, like, don't leave it in the judges' hands.
Yeah.
That's sexy to say, but it's not as
it's
not always
doable.
Doable really. You know, based on what you got going on and the adversity that you face in the fight. Yeah. Not saying that it's impossible, but sometimes it's not even. Maybe it might not be the best strategy either. Yeah. What you got going on.
And I feel like the main reason they say that, one, because people want to see finishes.
Oh yeah.
You know, they want to see you go out there and knock somebody's lights out, or just get on top and beat the crap out of them, or end up with the submission and getting the win. They want to see the fight finish. Mm-hmm. Like as fight fans, it's always great to see a finish. I personally like when there's like, you know, two guys that are equally skilled and beating the crap out of each other. Those fights are always great to watch.
Yeah.
But you know, there's
Lawler, Rory McDonald.
Yeah, just going back and forth. Oof. Like just two guys pouring their heart out there, just trying to kill each other.
That ended the finish. Actually.
Yeah, it looks freaking awesome as a fight fan. But the main reason that they tell you not to leave it in the judges' hands is because they don't want to hear any complaining.
Yeah.
Like if Marcus thinks he won the fight, but it went to a decision, which means the judges had to score it, and they came away and they gave it to the other guy. They don't want to hear anybody complaining. They don't want to hear Marcus go, hey, what the hell? I won that fight, blah, blah, blah. They don't want to hear a ruckus. They don't want to hear anything like that. The judges are there to score the fight how they saw it. Whether they had a good vantage point or not, or whether they, you know, give striking more merit over grappling or not, doesn't matter. It's like the reason they're telling you that is they want you to finish the fight, because that's the only definitive way to say I won or I beat this person, right? When you got to go to the judges, then it's like
dispute.
Yeah,
there's really dispute. I feel like this, I feel like that. This is BS.
Yeah.
And like really, it's just a matter of owning it. Like there's no, in my head, the judges, they score what they're gonna score. No matter how much that you have gripes about it, it ain't gonna change nothing.
Nope.
No matter, I can go out here and put the best campaign about how I feel like I won the fight, and if 100,000 people liked it. Let's say 1 million people liked it on this podcast, and I campaigned for how I should have won the fight. It ain't gonna change my record on
Nope.
CSAC.
Nope.
It ain't gonna change my record on SureDog. It's still gonna be, you know, a loss to Joseph Ramirez.
Yep.
And so you gotta recognize that, you gotta accept it, and just move forward. Yep. It is what it is, and that's the way I kind of took it when I heard it. You know, I felt like I put together a good performance. Everybody who came to see me, they seemed to enjoy it. I mean, I'm sure they would. Yeah. I'm sure they would have enjoyed it more had I won. But I still feel like I put on a good enough performance for them to be like, you know what, that was worth me coming out here and seeing this thing. In addition to the other fighters and their performances. And hey, I go and make my adjustments, and you'll see me again soon. End of story. Like I'm not gonna go and, you know, make gripes or anything about that, about how this judge is, how judge blah blah blah. Because at the end of the day, it's just wasting energy, and
doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can navigate that energy to going back to your gym and making those adjustments to be better on your next performance.
Yep.
Because you get more benefit doing that than you do crying about how a decision didn't go your way.
Right.
So I think that's really why they say that, because the honest truth is there are a lot of fighters who will commit a lot of time, energy, social media presence, crying about how this should have went this way.
I should have won.
Did you see that? I did.
I got robbed, or
these judges don't know what they do. Blah 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 blah. And yeah, it looks good. You know, it pop up on your algorithm because it's you. They might say something catchy.
Yeah.
You know, that'll capture your attention, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because your record's still going to say lost to so and so.
Yep.
You know,
and I felt like, well, us in particular, we kind of let it go pretty damn fast. Whether I won or whether I learned, it's over now, right? I had the opportunity to go out there and finish the person, whether I finished him or not, whether the fight went the way I wanted to or not. It's over now, right? You put all that work in, you did all your training and stuff, you got your reward, which I feel like the reward is the fight. Put all this hard work in, now you get to go out there and display your skill. Now you get to go out there and show off in front of your family and go out there and try to win this fight. But it's over. Here we are. I don't even know.
It's like 4 weeks now.
We're like 4 weeks away. There wasn't a whole lot about it. We talked about it for the first couple of days. People come up randomly and ask and stuff like that, but we don't put a whole lot of merit into the decision. You know what I mean? We know pretty instantly how we feel about the fight. We know how it went. And you watch certain things, like watching it back, there's certain things that we saw in the fight, watching it now. We're like, oh shit, I didn't know that happened. Or I didn't realize that happened that soon or that fast or something like that. So watching it back, you can get a sense of how the other people saw it. But we pretty much move on pretty damn quick. I feel like as a professional, that's your job. You put your work in, you go out there, you get to fight, and then it's kind of on to the next. And then you take whatever you learned in that fight, you take however that went, and you apply it to your next fight. The whole goal is to get better every single time you step out there. So you take the criticism, you take the what's the opposite of criticism? Praise. You take the criticism, you take the praise of how you did in the fight, put them both together, you watch the fight, and you go, oh, okay, I could have done this, or I did great here, this works for me, yada, yada, yada. So, we move on pretty quick. We're 4 weeks away, barely watching the fight, and still no hard feelings. Guy put on a great camp, and, he did what he was supposed to do in the fight. He did enough to pretty much get the decision. The judges felt he had to go in that way. So, hey, hats off to him. Great job. His corner man was dressed fly as hell. Had the whole suit on.
I don't know who that was, but man, that suit was bad.
Yeah, I don't know if it was his dad or what, but he was looking great in the corner, short. Man. He was looking sharp. Mm-hmm. He was all suited up.
Yeah, and you know what? Everything that Diamond said too, that's win, lose, or draw. You know, I haven't, sat on praise from a successful fight very long. It feels good. Yeah. And it feels great. Like, man, I won that fight.
It feels good for a day or two.
Yeah, it feels good. Maybe depending on who you see in the different environments you had. Like, I haven't been at work for 3 days, so now I see people out there. Hey, man, good job, man, great fight, and it feels great. But it's short lived. After about the next weekend, ain't nobody talking about you no more.
Yeah, we don't ride those highs for too long, man.
Ain't nobody talking about you no more. It's on to the next. Like they all that praise and attention for that moment is over and done with, and you shouldn't expect to be riding on those sales anyways.
Nope.
Like, you should be, okay, that was great. This is what I learned from it, even with a win or a loss. And I'm going to move forward. Boom. This is how I can improve for my next performance.
Yep.
And that's kind of how we formulate our thoughts on things. So, yeah, that's why it's kind of easy to go in there, perform, exit the cage, and then already have mindset on what's next in regards to coming back and being better.
Yep.
And that's really pretty much where I was at. Like, granted, I was like, let me go get me a drink and something to eat.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because
that's pretty much it. Yeah.
That's priority number one. So I mean, go and say hi to my people and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
And then let's assess our body, see where we're at as far as recovery time.
Yeah. And
then a timetable for us getting back in there and training. So that's where the mindset's at.
That's pretty much it. On the go, all the time. That's pretty much how we handle things. That as soon as the fight's over, you hear about what happened. Your friends are talking to you, your corner's talking to you, your family's talking to you and stuff. and then you kind of just go off onto the next one. You know, people that see you a week later, they're going to congratulate you and stuff, but you know, once these fights are over, that success is short-lived, and then it's back to training, back to grinding, back to doing everything you were doing right before the fight, and just hopefully at a better pace. Hopefully you learn something, win, lose, or draw in the fight, and you know, you just take it with you into your training and into everything else. But with that being said, we did go a little bit longer today, so way longer.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys,
FaceTime.
you know, hopefully you guys appreciate that. We're gonna do our thumbnail right now. Ready? Ready? We're doing the thumbnail picture. Ready?
Hold on, let me put the cup down. Like this.
Cup down.
Oh no, I don't like doing that because I don't be flexing good.
Yeah,
my
you don't-
flexes look whack. My flexes look so whack. Hold on.
I'll puff my chest up a little bit. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Boom, that's
Not
our
too
thumbnail.
serious.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the fight too. I'm gonna put that right up there on the screen. Hopefully we gave you enough insight to what it's like to be in there and how we're feeling and stuff. But for the most part, Marcus is calm, cool, and confident the entire time he's in there. So it's not a whole lot to be like. I think I asked him once, how'd that feel? He's like, didn't feel it. So,
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of times, like those exchanges, I won't feel it. Like, but I mean, it's just being in the moment. Like I'm always kind of like that. Kind of, hey, it is what it is. I'm in the cage. I'm in here to fight. I'm trying to get in and out because they don't pay me by the hour, baby. They don't pay me by the minute. I'm trying to get my check, get it out. And so, yeah, I mean, it was cool. So with all that said, like that was the review. I know it's kind of. I was watching in real time, so I was actually trying to hear some of the commentary. Like, man, what they saying about it, man? They better.
Yeah. Yeah, we had the
Um,
commentary down low. I don't know if I'm going to turn it up for you guys or not.
Yeah.
Probably not because we talk a lot through it, but you know.
And then seeing it and then trying to recollect at the same time is a lot of information. So,
Especially our first time watching it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I saw little clips and stuff, and it looked good. It was a great fight. Thank you guys all for being here. Thank you for watching it with us. If you liked it, let us know in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe to us. We're still growing, and we're going to continue to grow. We're going to keep putting content out there. Make sure you guys follow our Instagram. You can go to beyondtherounds.com. And there's a link from there to all of our YouTube episodes and stuff like that. You'll see our Instagram on there. We're going to start beefing up the website also. We're going to start adding pictures from the fights, pictures from training and stuff. So you get a little insight, you know, beyond the rounds there. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for being here. Live BTR, beyond the rounds. Live better. And thank you guys for being here.
be on the lookout for that too.
Yeah.
A little nugget. What do they call it? An Easter egg.
Easter egg.
Oh, it's almost Easter too.
Perfect, bro.
Ooh.
Perfect. Be on the lookout.
We'll
Live
see
better.
Beyond the rounds.
Peace.
Good night.